Yo, what's up, people? Welcome to the channel again. It's part 3 of talking about our sync strategy for 2024. Let me see what we got in the building. We got Irene Let It Out, who just became a channel member. Thank you, Irene, and welcome to Team Dope. We appreciate you. Kevin Cheek, another Team Dope member. What's up, Kev? Everything is good, man. Hope all is well your way. Akila is back. What's up, Akila? Good to see you. Who else we got, man? Let me know where you guys are from. Let me know what you do. Excited to dig into this information. We've been hanging out for like 2 days straight. This is the 3rd day. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna walk away by the end of this week knowing exactly what you need to do and what actions you need to be taking to start getting to these syncs. Yo, so I hopped on IG like right before I went live on here. I'm still on there, but somebody hold on. It's I am Luminous P just got their first TV placement with the homie Eclipse. So shout out to them, DJ Horn. I don't know if y'all heard the DJ Horn during the intro. That's what the DJ Horn was about, if you heard it while the countdown was happening. So shout out to Luminous on the placement. That's super dope. We got Rachel Evans from San Diego in the building. First placements is like, I don't know, it's a huge adrenaline rush, like, and then there's just like no turning back. Like, you get the first one and you're like, oh shoot, like I want to do it again, and then you do it again, and then once it keeps happening, you know, by the time you hit, like, I say 10, by time you hit 10, like you all the way in there now. Like it won't be any turning back, and it's gonna be hard to start getting royalties to just stop at that point, because the music is in the system, publishers are sending it out, and you know, it just starts to snowball from there. So we want that for you. So let me see who else we got, man. For the new people joining, welcome. Part 3 of building our sync strategy for 2024. Day 1, we talked about deciding your target genre. Day 2, we talked about deciding your target medium. So figuring out what you know, TV, documentaries, movies, movie trailers, video games, whatever. And then today we're going to dig into part 3 of this joint. The legendary LW is in the building. Congrats to A Mill on 1 million streams for a song on Spotify. Yo, congrats to A Mill hitting 1 mil. That's why he got Mill in his name. So it was just like, yo, let me hit this 1 mil. Now his name, it just matches. It matches his status. I love it, man. That's huge. Congrats, A Mill, on 1 million streams. A Mill will definitely be getting he passed the new Spotify threshold for getting paid, so shout out to A Mill. That's an accomplishment. So all right, who did their homework? Let me see who did y'all's homework, man. What is your target medium? Like, what are you going to be focused on once the new year hits and all these briefs starts hitting? Let me know. Drop it in the chat. What are you focusing on? Are you doing trailers? Are you doing TV and movie placements? Are you doing micro sync? Like, what is going to be your primary focus? Is it going to be sound design? Is it going to be ads, commercials, promos, custom music for brands? Sonic branding is what we call it. Excello, what's good? Jero, greetings from Ecuador. Shout out to everybody in Ecuador. I'll be working on instrumentals for TV, says Justin Abram. Super dope. Let's go. What else? Who else did their homework? Let me see if my Instagram people have been doing their homework. Let's see. Oh, no doubt. I think Instagram is South Africa in the building. Oh no, here they go. Okay, TV and ads, movies, web series, trailer, TV and film, Let me see. We got Lamar Webster in the building, chiming in from Alabama. Reality TV shows is what Lamar is going to be focused on. I love it. Ads and TV, the smoothest on Instagram. Super dope. I love to see it. What else? I only had, 5 people? Only 5 people did. Y'all see those habits from school is transferring over into your sync career. You didn't do your homework in school. You didn't do your homework in sync. Oh, man. How you do one thing is how you do everything. TV instrumentals HGTV style. Let's go. I love it. Yo, HGTV be showing love. They be showing love on those home improvement shows. Ben says TV and film. Mixed by Splash says ads and TV. Patty P says reality TV and ads. Super dope. Yeah, like I think there's always opportunities with reality TV too, because they're always coming out with some new reality show. You know what I'm saying? So should definitely be plenty of opportunities. Ads, of course, as long as you have content, as long as you have, the networks need content so that they could sell ads to the brands, right? So it all works together, man. Like, as long as you got brands paying for ad space, you're going to need TV shows and movies, and all those shows and movies are going to need music. So it's all connected. So they gotta have that content so they can sell that ad. Let me see. Mr. Roberson, what's good? Camo, hola, amigos. All right, so today we're gonna talk about let me see, where are we at? Okay. Part 3. This is what you need to do. This is part 3. Seek information. Like, I want y'all to just literally obsess. I want you to obsess about sync licensing for like the next 2 months. Just like, that's all you think about. You eat, you sleep, you shower, sync from like the next 60 to 90 days. That's all I want you to do. And I'm gonna show you how to do it. Right, so there's a ton of resources out there. Obviously, you're on one of the resources right now. You're here on my YouTube channel, or you're here on my IG page. So I'm a resource. I have a bunch of friends that a lot of you probably already follow. Their resources. So tap in. Make sure you're staying up to date with all of the content that we post, because we try and keep you all in the loop and the things that we learn about, and we share it with you. And then you also just have YouTube in general. Like, there's a bunch of other people talking about this stuff. There's a bunch of music libraries, music licensing companies that may have content on some of their pages. You can also look up interviews of music libraries or music supervisors, or, TV and film editors. Like, search for interviews and podcasts where these people are literally like just spilling the beans on how they work and how things work in this space. So every day you should be like listening to something, at least like at the very bare minimum, once a day. Like, and I don't want to hear any excuses. I don't care if you have a job and you work 15 hours a day. You got to drive to that job at some point. You got to sleep at some point. You got to eat at some point. If you're on lunch, listen to it while you eat your lunch. If you're driving to work, listen to it while you're driving to work. Driving from work, you got another, however long it takes you to get home to listen to a podcast, listen to a video. Don't watch the video. I don't want you to get in an accident, but listen to the video. And make sure you're soaking in information every single day about the industry that you're trying to work in. Because you're going to pull nuggets from like every little thing that you listen to, and you're just soaking this stuff in. And before you know it, you'll just be a bank of like information just because you've just been soaking this stuff in. And it starts to become, it becomes a part of you. You know what I mean? So obsess about it. Try and find music supervisors, right? So you can use, I mentioned earlier, like tunefind.com, where you can look up a show. You can look up the music supervisor on that show, or you can use imdb.com, look up the music supervisor on a show or on a movie. Then once you get their name, you can then look them up on YouTube, see if you can find some interviews on them. Look them, search on your podcast app, see if you can find some podcasts with them being a guest or something, or maybe, I don't know, they may have their own podcast, who knows. Look for articles. If you want to read, you prefer reading, look up articles. You can I use Audible for to read books, so I'll just listen to books while I'm in the car or in the morning or like whatever, showering. I'll throw on Audible and pull up a book. So now you can look up sync books that are on Audible that talk about sync licensing and the business of sync licensing. Every single day. Like it's too much information out here for you like not to know what's going on, and for you not to know like how things work in this space. There's a lot of people just doing just weird deals, and just because they just don't even know, you know what I mean? So soak in as much information as you can. So we got YouTube, we have podcasts, we have books / audio books. You got articles on the internet. If you use like a news app like Apple News or something, you can like filter out, music licensing, sync licensing or whatever, micro sync, just different topics to filter out articles on sync. And then in addition to that, you also have communities, right? I know my Road to 10 placement students, they have the Discord. So like they're sharing information in the Discord and like sharing wins, sharing, critiques, and sharing maybe some libraries that they've had success with, all there in the Discord community. There's also Facebook groups. Like there's a ton of sync Facebook groups out there that you can, tap into. There's sync conferences, aka Shades of Sync, like the dopest, most sauciest sync conference out there. But there's other sync conferences out there as well. And if you missed Shades, then you need to get on the wait list for that. Shadesofsync.com to get on the wait list for that, so you can be there next year in person, because that's where all the connections and networking is happening. So yeah, look up sync conferences. There's a bunch of them. All over the world, man. Different organizations throw them. PMA Music is a great resource for information in the production music space. They have like workshops and calls and coffee hours that you can join as well. Sometimes they'll open it up for non-members too, so you can like hop in one of those for free. You got NARIP, NARIP. They throw like pitching sessions and informational sessions and things like that. So like all of these are like resources and communities that you need to tap into as a part of just becoming obsessed about sync and just like, getting as much information as you can. And what you'll find is with you just being connected and surrounded by these communities and by people who also have the same goals as you, it's going to be easier for you to kind of stay the course, because it gets tough in the beginning, because it's just one of those things where it's like you don't know if it's working until it starts working, and then even when it starts working, it's just slow starting out. So you need like other people around you to kind of keep you encouraged, keep you inspired, and hopefully I do that on this channel, because I know how it is just starting out. Just trying to get to that first one, man. That first sync placement that's like the toughest one. But you got to do it. You gotta surround yourself around like-minded people that's gonna keep you encouraged. And then seeing other people win is gonna keep you pushing as well. Camo says, I'll sub to everyone. Keep going, y'all. Indeed. I'm looking to prioritize champion songs because of the Olympics. That's smart and strategic. While exercising, exactly. A meal, a meal. We heard you hit a meal. Congrats. A meal hit a meal. Dang, LW, you might be right. I might not make it. I might not make it through the week. No, I got some tea. I got some. Excuse me. I got some tea that's gonna take care of this phlegm. NAMM is January 25th through 28th. I will be there. Is there a sync conference this year? There most likely there'll be a sync panel. I know last time when we were there, I was on one, and then they had another one. Man, it's all up in that joint. There we go. There was another one put on by man, I forget her name, but she's another great resource as well. Man, it slips my mind. I can literally see her face and I can't remember her name. But yeah, usually they'll have like some side panels at NAMM. So yeah. Yeah, there's so many opportunities, man. You make time for what you want. You know what I mean? If this is important, and this is something you want to do, then you know, you gotta prioritize it, and you gotta treat it like a business. So make sure you're getting that time in. Make sure you're seeking information, and doing the research on the business that you're trying to work in. And it's going to make it easier as you go through the process, because you know you'll kind of have a heads up on things. And then as far as like looking for interviews and podcasts and stuff for music supervisors and libraries and publishers, that gives you insight before you even reach out and pitch to them, because now you know already, just based off of what they've told you through interviews, like what they like, what they don't like, you know, what kind of music they prefer to work with, you know, how they find music. You know, there's some people like they go to different places, social media outlets, and like find different indie artists that way. So now you're able to kind of position yourself, and you kind of have a competitive edge because you're working with information that a lot of people are just too lazy to go find, to be honest with you. So you putting in that extra work is going to give you an edge, and you're going to be able to reach your goals a lot faster than somebody who's just like sitting waiting for somebody to give them a chance. And you know, I don't know. People think like this success is like this magical thing that just falls in your lap because you're sitting at home making music every day. It's like that's just like a very small aspect of this. Like you have to be proactive and take the right actions to see the results that you want to see, and not just wait for it to happen. Because if you wait, yeah, you're just gonna be waiting. So don't wait. LW says we'll see. Watch. Come Friday, my voice is gonna be crystal clear, phlegmless. I'm telling you. Listening from work. There you go. There's no excuses, man. You listen from work. You know, when I had a day job, I was the commute there, I was listening to something. Lunch, I was either listening to something or I was shooting out emails during lunch. Shoot, sometimes during work I was shooting out emails, responding. And then if like I would try and anticipate, like if they accepted a track, I would just go ahead and bounce stems out. Like if it was a company I was already working for, and I knew how they wanted stems, I'll just go ahead, bounce them out. So then if they give me like the green light while I'm at work, then boom, I just shoot them the link, and then they got the stems, things that keep moving. What else? Yeah, if it was like downtime at work, I would use that time to find more licensing companies to submit to, and then I'll just like either submit right there, send the email right there, or I'll just like, save it, screenshot it, whatever. And then when I got off, I'll circle back around. And then shoot, I've taken meetings during lunches and breaks. Man, listen, you got to figure out how to make it work. I make music, not excuses. Should the track be mastered or on stems? Depends on who you're submitting to. So let's open it up for questions, y'all. So, all right, part 1 was deciding your target genre. Part 2, decide your target medium. And then today, part 3, seek information and surround yourself around other sync communities so that you can stay encouraged, stay motivated, and stay on task, right? So drop some questions in the chat. Drop some fire emojis if this information has been helping you this week so far. Let me see. Drop some fire emojis so I know that this is actually helpful and I'm not just blurting out a bunch of stuff that y'all don't care about. Instagram's on it. I'm seeing the fire on Instagram. What do you consider a weird deal? A weird deal. I don't know, like just something that's just like I can't really talk about that situation. Weird. Okay, here's a weird deal. Say somebody, a publisher, literally like they're a big publisher, right? And then the splits used to be you get your publishing splits and then you get your writers splits. Writers get 100%, publishers get 100%. Something happened to where now the publisher is asking you for some of your writers splits. That's weird to me. So yeah. Or you get Universal Music Company emailing you, asking you to pay $200 to guarantee your music to be placed in a movie next week. And this is literally like a scam email that's been floating around. That's weird. Like, I'm sorry, Universal Music is not about to like hit you up and ask you for $200 or guarantee you a placement. Like Universal Music's not even just about to cold outreach you like that. I mean, that's just weird. It just starts off weird to begin with. So, like watch out for emails like that. And if you click on the email address, if it says like Universal Music or some other major publisher, actually click on the email address and see what the actual email address is. Because it'll probably say like Universal Music like at AOL.com or something like that. Something weird. They be trying to get people, man. So just watch out for stuff like that. That's weird. That's what I mean when I say weird. All right, so I'm seeing some fire emojis. Y'all liking the information. Make sure you hit the like button if this information is helpful, and share it with some people who it could also help. DJ MVP, been listening to podcasts, TV sync, beat, production videos. Indeed. That's it, man. That's why I post those beat breakdown videos too, so y'all can kind of get an insight. For my channel members, you guys get to see me actually work on briefs from scratch. So like you see me just literally dissecting a brief and kind of working through that. So shout out to Team Dope. If you all want to see that, just become a channel member. It's like buying me a cup of coffee once a month. You kind of get some behind the scenes into things that I do in my business. So yeah, Rachel Evans, popular trend during election year 2024 include ads and shows with American patriotic songs. There you go. That is true. That is definitely true. One library I submitted to had like a threshold of $250 for upfront fees per person. After we reached that, the library would take everything. Oh, wow. That's different. threshold of 250. After we reach that, wait, no. So are you, yo? So are you saying they would pay you up to $250 for upfront fees, and then once you hit 250, they take everything else? That's strange. There we go. Those weird deals. I've worked with Universal. They don't do business like, exactly. They don't. Yep. Yeah, that's weird, bro. I mean, you think that would be like the other way around. Like you get like a $250 advance, right? On upfront syncs, for you to produce the music or whatever. So you take the 250, then you don't see anything until you hit 250. They recoup that little advance, and then you get participate in all the sync fees after that. That's normal, but that way, yeah, that's weird. Should have said buying you throat coat tea. No, for sure. Like, I gotta restock. I think I might have like, nah, I gave that to my wife. I had one stashed away in my backpack. So a company or publisher asking for 50% of writer share isn't normal. No, like, I mean, not like if a company approaches you and like that's just how they do it because they have a partnership with another publisher or something. Sometimes that happens, but usually in that case, things are like non-exclusive, or sometimes producers will do a deal like that. So if a producer has a connection, other producer doesn't, or whatever, and they're like, hey, let's just do 50-50 on the writers. That happens, and they just need a lot of music and they just need help, and the publisher's taking just 100% of publishing. Then that happens. Like I've done deals like that with other composers where they're working on, they're working on a show and they're like, yo, I can't do all this music. I need help. I'll give you 50% of my writer share. And then we'll do the tracks, send it, and then they'll send it in. We do deals like that, especially as composers and things like that. But it gets weird, like when a publisher doesn't start off like that, and like, they do a typical publishing deal, and then out of nowhere, it's just like, hey, now we want 50% of your writer share. That's when it's just like, I don't know about that. I'm sure it's probably songwriters in here. All right, let's take some other questions. What are your thoughts on using Taxi to get briefs? I don't use it. I haven't used Taxi, man, for years, like since I was first trying to learn about sync. When I was with them, they just didn't have a lot of, hip hop R&B briefs. So I don't know if that's the same. Another thing with the Taxi briefs is you get the brief from Taxi, they're getting the brief from the library. So you got to get approved by Taxi first for them to forward it to the library. And then they put you in direct contact with the library. It's just an extra step that I personally just don't want to take. I'd rather just go straight to the library. That's just me. And that's how I teach in, my students and things like that. It's just try and get as direct to the source as possible. Best plugin for acoustic bass. Native Instruments plugin. I use Scarby a lot. And then there's another one. There's a couple of their acoustic bass plugins that I use. But yeah, Native Instruments has some solid ones. Another one is Spectrasonics Trillion. They have some decent ones in there too. What do you think about producer using Cymatics splice samples, royalty free to compose and submit tracks. Would they accept it? No. Right now, they'll say no to samples, even if they say royalty free. If they're from Splice or like another big major company where a lot of people are using these same samples, 9 times out of 10 they're just like no. It just has to be original. Yeah. Yeah, Trillion's fire. Horns and brass. We actually talked about that yesterday, see Noise. Shoot, native instruments. Y'all listen, y'all know my answer is like native instruments for like 90% of these questions. But native instruments has some great horns, brass. Spitfire has some dope stuff. I would just reach out to sub publishers of the majors. Just send a decent email with great music. Boom. There you go. Zimzada. Yo, have I tried the coffee yet? I just finished the first bag today. I just drunk the last of it. So I got, and then the K cups, smashed those. So I got one bag left. It's legit. That Texas pecan, that joint, that was the one Zim. The smell, it's just goodness. It's Scarby. Yo, you might be right. Hold on, man, let me double check. Let me see if I can pull up a let me pull up a session real quick and check this. Shout out to the caramel macchiato. Yeah, thanks again, Zim. Zim came through with some coffee at Shades. East West Sounds, some good sounds. Got for their Black Friday sales. Facts, like now's the matter of fact, I have a Native Instruments coupon I need to use. Let me see. Let's find. Let's do this without destroying this session, because this track actually. This is if y'all haven't seen the beat breakdown, the sync placement breakdown, this is the track that they got placed. So I don't want to mess this session up, but I'm gonna just create another track so I can pull up these this bass. No, yeah. It's Scarby. There's a few of them. There's like the Scarby pre-bass amped. J-bass. I use J-bass a lot, and I think I use the pre-bass amped. Those are like a couple of the bass sounds that I'll use. Definitely like the J-bass though. I think J-bass is definitely one of my favorite. But yeah, it is Scarby. And then there's also Scarby electronic pianos as well. So we're both right. So yeah, there's a Scarby bass, and then some Scarby vintage keys, Mark 1. And probably some other stuff in here. But yeah, session horns is dope. Session strings Pro 2, dope. I use brass ensemble, brass solo stuff a lot. From Native Instruments. Oh, Scarby Rickenbacker bass. That joint's dope too. I use that. I've used that a few times on some stuff. So yeah. Can't go wrong. Excuse me. Let's see. let's take a few more questions, and I'm gonna hop off because I gotta have a meeting. So, I'm a member. I'm tapped in. Let's go. Roll to 10 placements. Roll to 10 placements game. By the way, if y'all trying to enroll in the Roll to 10 placements, now is the time because there's a 50% off coupon code in the description or the link in my bio if you're on IG. Just go to rollto10placements.com. Or you can go to just clintproductions.com/courses and use Black Friday 23 to get 50% off. All right, let me see. Moto Base is really good. Colombian coffee, straight black. Man, listen, Raymond, man, I've tried a couple times to drink my coffee black. Because coffee is actually very healthy for you. It's like the creamer and stuff that makes it all crazy. So I tried to drink it black, and I was just like, I can't do it. This is not desirable. So I mean, I got a decently healthy creamer, and I'm just like, yeah, I haven't reached your level yet, Raymond. Who else drinks coffee just black? Precious says, what are the steps to get a sync license for a cover song? It really depends. Depends on the song and the publishers that are attached. Like some songs you can't even get a license for to cover, like depending on the artists and stuff and the publishers. Some you can. I think it's a process. I interviewed DMG Music Clearance. They specialize in that. And me personally, like if it was something, well, this is what I'll tell you. Me personally, I won't create a cover song unless a publisher says, hey, we're looking for cover songs for this song for sync. Then I'll do it. Otherwise, I feel like I'm wasting my time because I don't even know if this is going to get cleared. Then you got to go figure out if you can get it cleared or if it's clearable. And then, it's just like a lot of different things that has to happen. So yeah, the only time I'll work on like a cover song for sync is if literally a publisher is saying, hey, we're looking for this. Otherwise I just don't do it. I'd rather make original music. But if an event happened, usually if a publisher's hitting you up about that, they're gonna deal with the clearance steps anyway. So you really don't have to worry about that. Or like say you get a brief from like Sony and they're like, hey, we're looking for cover song, like 9.9 times out of 10 it's like in Sony's catalog anyway, so they have the rights to be able to do whatever they want to do with it. So yeah, tubular bells are a staple in all of my sports tracks for TV. I use the stock Logic ones. They work perfectly. So yeah, no doubt, Blake. I guess the son drinks black coffee. Just black coffee, man. Black coffee is a flavor like cognac, whiskey, vodka. I can see that. Definitely an acquired taste. There's a sync licensing company with my name. Well, they're not a sync licensing company. They're like a clearance company. So they clear like all of the samples on like just some major records. And they also do stuff on the sync side. Shout out to Deborah. But yeah, she talks about that in depth on this channel. If you go back to the podcast, man, when did we chop it up with her? I think that was like last year, something like that. But she gave us the game on like samples and clearances and all that stuff. Love studio, bro. Gives me movie theater when the lights are on vibes. Appreciate it, man. Indeed. All right, I'm gonna take a couple questions from Instagram real quick, and then I think we're gonna wrap this joint up. I can drink Rise coffee black. I'm having some of that a little later today. But yeah, I think it may be a little more bearable. Rise may be a little more bearable just straight. But see, when I use Rise, for those who don't know what Rise coffee is, it's mushroom coffee. I put it in almond milk, and drink it that way. I didn't like it in just like water. I thought it tastes a little bit better with almond milk. So yeah. Will you be changing your niche? Oh no, not at all. I mean, this is just man. How long I've been talking about sync? Like since I got into it, you know what I mean? No, before that, like I was talking about sync in college, and just trying to put like all my friends on, like, yo, I just learned about this thing, like this is dope. We got to try and do this. But yeah, I'll always be. Y'all gonna see me. I'm gonna be like 77 at some. I don't know. Y'all, you just gonna see me old, talk, just preaching sync. Like you better. You know you need to start getting synced. You know, when I was a youngin', sync was where it was at, and it still is. Yeah, you ain't gonna catch me not talking about sync. Cause it's a game changer, man. It's a game changer for producers, artists, songwriters. I mean, it's dope. So, did I hear your tracks on NPR? You might have. There's no telling, man. There is no telling. No doubt, Tyra. Glad the information helps. So that's it. So to summarize, this is y'all's homework. Go and seek information. Find some sync communities on, Facebook groups. Start searching sync licensing hashtags. Start searching videos on YouTube. Start looking for podcasts. Start looking for sync conferences to go to. Make sure you block out the date for Shades of Sync next year in November, though. Make sure you do that. But make sure you just start obsessing and focusing on the information that revolves around what you're trying to do in this space. So don't forget to use that 50% coupon, and don't forget this Black Friday bundle that I'm dropping that is going to level up your sync career as a producer. A ton of value. I'm going back and forth. Let me tell you a little bit about what I'm thinking about putting in here. So I've been going back and forth on if I want to do like one or two, but I know for sure I'm gonna throw in this Sync Producer Growth Pack 2.0 a case study from one of my TV placement mastery students. I'm thinking about throwing in like two of them, and throwing in like the notes and everything, so you can like see their journey and how they went from getting rejected over and over and over again to getting licensing deals, right? And then ultimately getting TV placement. So I think I'm gonna throw that in there. And I have some other stuff that's gonna help you as far as your production quality, because I feel like that's been one of the biggest struggles, especially like listening to our live music reviews and things like that. I think the production quality and mix quality has been a huge struggle for people trying to break into sync. The ideas are there, but the mixes aren't. So gonna add something in there to help with that. And then I'm gonna throw a giveaway in there too. Last year I did $500 cash giveaway to one of the people who hopped on that pretty quick. Action takers are money makers, and they made $500 that Thanksgiving weekend. So I still got to think. I don't know if I may do $500 again or some gear. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so make sure you get on that wait list. ClintProductions.com/Black Friday, or just hit the link in the description. Or if you're on Instagram, just comment waitlist. Get on that waitlist. You don't want to miss out because it is going to be limited. And then once that limit hits, it goes away. You will no longer have access. So that's it. I'm out. I'll catch y'all tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. And we'll go through part 4 of our sync strategy for 2024. Let's get it.